She says that most people underestimate the quiet moments that change everything. The moments when life whispers instead of shouts. The moments when you're alone with your thoughts, wondering why nothing feels easy, why the world keeps moving while you feel stuck, why your dreams feel just a little further away than they used to. She says those moments are not signs of failure. They're invitations. Invitations to step into the version of yourself you've been avoiding, the version that scares you, the version that demands more from you than comfort ever could. She remembers watching her son as a boy, not because he was extraordinary in the way movies like to portray prodigies, but because he had an unusual stubbornness about believing in things that didn't yet exist. He believed in the impossible the way others believed in the weather, something inevitable, something certain. And she wants you to understand this: belief is not a gift. It's a choice. You don't wait for it. You build it, you practice it, you fight for it on the days when everything feels pointless. Especially on those days, she wants you to know that people will mistake your vision for delusion until the day it works. They'll misunderstand your passion as obsession. They'll call your ambition unrealistic. And none of it matters. Not a single word. Because they're speaking from the limits of their own story, not yours. They're projecting ceilings that were never meant for you. When you dream outside the boundaries of their understanding, you threaten the world they've made peace with. And that's okay. You're not here to shrink yourself so others can stay comfortable. She wants you to hear this clearly: you don't need permission to be extraordinary. You don't need someone to validate your dream. You don't need the world to nod in agreement before you take your first step. The world will always applaud in hindsight. Rarely in real time. That's why the journey feels lonely, because it is. But lonely doesn't mean wrong. Lonely often means you're ahead. She talks about courage not as a loud, heroic act, but as a quiet decision you make every morning, sometimes with excitement, sometimes with trembling hands. Courage is waking up when yesterday disappointed you. Courage is trying again after being ignored, doubted, underestimated. Courage is refusing to let fear sound like logic. And she smiles when she says it, because she's watched how far courage can take a person who has nothing else but grit. She wants you to understand that the world doesn't reward talent alone. It rewards persistence. It rewards endurance. It rewards the person who shows up even on days they don't feel like it. The person who keeps swinging long after the crowd assumes they're done. Talent sets the foundation, but resilience builds the empire. She says life will test you. Not because it wants you to quit, but because it wants to know if you're serious. If you're committed. If you're willing to pay the price your dream demands. People admire success but rarely acknowledge the bruises beneath it. The sleepless nights, the financial anxiety, the doubt, the sacrifices, the losses that don't make it into inspirational videos. But she wants you to know that these scars are not signs of weakness. They're proof of worthiness. Proof that you stayed in the arena long enough for your moment to arrive. She has seen firsthand how people admire her son today, how they speak about him with awe. But she also remembers the years when no one believed in him. The years when people laughed at his ideas, criticized his failures, predicted his downfall. And she remembers how he kept going, not because he was fearless, but because he decided that fear would not be the thing that shaped his life. And that's the message she shares with you. Don't let fear be your architect. She says you have no idea how close you are to the version of your life you've always wanted. Most people quit inches before their breakthrough, mistaking discomfort for impossibility. They stop when it gets heavy, not realizing that heaviness is the sign they're lifting something meaningful. You might be exhausted. You might be questioning everything. You might be wondering if all this effort will ever pay off. She wants you to know, it will. But not if you stop now. She wants you to feel something rising inside you, something you've been ignoring. Something you've been postponing. That tiny instinct that says you're meant for more. That whisper that says you can do something great, something different, something the world hasn't seen from you yet. That whisper is not accidental. It's a direction. She insists that your environment doesn't define your destiny. Your past doesn't define your future. Your circumstances don't define your potential. The only thing that defines you is your willingness to rise. You can come from nothing and build everything. You can be overlooked today and unstoppable tomorrow. You can grow beyond every limitation placed on you. She wants you to stop waiting for the right moment. There is no right moment. There is only now. And now is begging you to begin. She says your dream is not random. It's the blueprint of who you're meant to become. But blueprints don't build themselves. You must gather the courage. You must take the steps. You must trust the process even when the process feels cruel. Growth will stretch you. It will break you open. It will challenge every weakness you hide. But on the other side of that discomfort is a strength you don't recognize yet. She wants you to embrace the fact that greatness looks messy in real time. It looks chaotic. It looks uncertain. It looks nothing like the polished success stories you see online. Greatness is built in moments of silence, in hours of work no one applauds. In decisions that don't make sense to anybody but you. She says you're stronger than you think. Smarter than you believe. Closer than you realize. She says your life is waiting for you to stop dimming your ambition. Stop apologizing for wanting more. Stop explaining your dreams to people who cannot see the horizon you're aiming for. She wants you to rise with conviction. Rise with fire. Rise with the same stubborn belief her son had, that impossible is just a word used by those who gave up too early. She wants you to hear this and truly feel it. You are capable of the extraordinary. You are built for the remarkable. You are meant for the unforgettable. And the world has not yet seen your full power. This is your moment. Step into it. She wants you to understand that life will often present you with forks in the road. Some paths seem safe, predictable, easy. Others look like chasms, gaps you feel unprepared to cross. She says that the easy road is tempting, but it rarely leads anywhere worth going. The risky path, the one that shakes your confidence, makes your heart race, and fills your mind with doubt, is almost always the road to transformation. And transformation is the only thing that matters when you're chasing something that sets your soul on fire. She tells you to guard your time fiercely. Time is the currency that no one can give back. Every moment you spend doubting yourself, every hour wasted on envy or fear, is a moment stolen from the person you're meant to become. She says to invest it wisely, to fill it with action, curiosity, and relentless pursuit. Surround yourself with those who challenge you, who lift you, who refuse to let you settle for mediocrity. And do the same for others. Energy is contagious. Ambition is contagious. Even your courage, when shared, inspires someone else to rise. She remembers the nights when the world seemed impossibly large, when failure felt permanent, when dreams felt fragile. But she says those nights were teaching her son resilience. They were shaping him in ways that comfort never could. And she wants you to know that discomfort is not your enemy, it's your teacher. Every setback, every critique, every moment of doubt is a lesson written in the ink of reality. Learn it. Grow from it. Let it refine you instead of define you. She wants you to understand something crucial about fear. Fear is inevitable. Doubt is inevitable. The difference between those who achieve and those who don't is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to act in spite of it. She says that courage is not the roar of confidence, but the quiet whisper of commitment. I will do this anyway. That whisper can move mountains if you listen to it, if you obey it, if you follow it relentlessly. She says you will face critics, some will be loud, others quiet, but none will matter unless you let them. She reminds you that people's disbelief says more about them than it does about your vision. Their limitations are not yours to inherit. You are free to think bigger, to aim higher, to redefine what is possible. She says the only limits you need to respect are the ones you place on yourself, and even those can be broken. She talks about patience, but not the kind that waits passively for miracles. The kind that endures, that perseveres, that works tirelessly even when the fruits are invisible. She says that growth is invisible for long stretches. You plant seeds in silence. You water them in doubt. You endure storms, and then, suddenly, life blooms in ways that seem magical, but you know the truth. Magic is earned. It is the result of persistence, discipline, and unwavering belief. She says you should embrace failure, because it is inevitable and instructive. Every misstep carries information, every mistake is a message. If you fear failure, you stop learning. If you avoid it, you avoid growth. She wants you to lean into it, to dissect it, to understand it, and to let it guide you closer to the life you're meant to build. Success without failure is shallow, it lacks depth, strength, and character. She wants you to feel gratitude, even in struggle. Gratitude is not about ignoring hardship, it's about acknowledging the power you have to change your circumstances. She says that gratitude focuses your mind on opportunity, not obstacle. It illuminates paths you didn't see before. It strengthens resilience. Gratitude transforms your perspective and gives your ambition wings. She wants you to embrace vision. Not fleeting goals, not short-term desires, but a vision that stretches across years, decades, a vision that challenges the limits of what you think is possible. She says to write it down, to speak it aloud, to revisit it daily. Your vision is your anchor when storms arrive. Your vision is your compass when the path feels uncertain. Your vision is the fire that keeps burning when doubt knocks at your door. She says you will sometimes feel alone in your journey. Most people will never understand the depth of your ambition. Most will doubt you, question you, even dismiss you. But loneliness is not weakness. Loneliness is proof that you are on a unique path. She says to honor that path, to respect the solitude it demands, because it is in those moments that character, creativity, and resilience are forged. She wants you to understand the power of relentless curiosity. Ask questions. Challenge norms. Explore the unknown. Innovation, she says, does not come from comfort, it comes from questioning the world as it is. And imagining it as it could be. Every great achievement begins as a question, what if? She wants you to live with that question, breathe with it, and let it drive every decision you make. She reminds you to nurture your mind, your body, and your soul. Energy fuels ambition. Clarity fuels vision. Strength fuels persistence. If you neglect any of these, your journey becomes harder than it needs to be. She wants you to prioritize yourself, not out of selfishness, but out of necessity. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot lead a life of impact if you are depleted, distracted, or defeated. She says that joy is not a destination. It is found in the process, in the effort. In the courage to pursue your calling even when it is hard. Celebrate small victories. Recognize progress. Laugh in the face of adversity. Life is meant to be lived boldly, fully, and passionately. She wants you to seize it, unapologetically, with both hands and all your heart. She wants you to hear this clearly: the world is waiting for your greatness. Not in a vague sense, but urgently, like a story missing its most important chapter, you. She says to rise, to move, to build, to create, to love fiercely, to fail bravely, to dream without limits. She says that your potential is immense, your capacity for impact extraordinary, and your life, can be transformative not just for you, but for everyone your actions touch. She says to trust yourself. To trust the instincts that have guided you this far, even when the path is unclear. To trust the fire inside you, even when it flickers. To trust the resilience that has carried you through harder days than anyone could know. That trust, she says, is the foundation of courage, the root of vision, the beginning of everything that will come next. She whispers that every choice you make today matters. Every step, every word, every act of courage ripples outward. Every decision to keep going strengthens the future version of yourself. She says your life is a mosaic of these choices, and the more deliberate, brave, and persistent you are, the more extraordinary the picture becomes. She wants you to remember this: the impossible is not a wall, it is a door. The doubts are not chains, they are weights to lift, strengthening your resolve. The setbacks are not punishments, they are lessons. The critics are not judges, they are spectators. And the fire inside you, the fire that refuses to settle for ordinary, is the force that will move mountains. She wants you to know that you are not just chasing a dream, you are shaping reality. You are crafting a story that will outlive fear, outlast criticism, and redefine possibility. She says the world does not yet know your impact, your vision, or your courage, but it will. It will, because you refuse to stop, refuse to shrink, refuse to compromise the extraordinary life waiting for you. And finally, she says this: take your first step now. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't doubt that you are ready. You are ready. You have always been ready. The fire is burning. The path is calling. The moment is yours. Rise into it. Step into it. Become everything you were always meant to be. She wants you to understand that the world does not hand out greatness, it is earned through countless moments that no one sees. The long nights of effort, the quiet persistence, the relentless questioning of yourself and the world around you. She says the difference between those who dream and those who achieve is not luck, nor privilege, nor talent, it is the unwavering refusal to quit. The refusal to accept good enough when the extraordinary is within reach. She says that you, too, are capable of this refusal, of this grit, of this transformation, because it is written into your being. She says that every obstacle you face is a mirror. It reflects back not only the challenges in the world, but the strength you already carry inside yourself. Every time you stumble, every time a plan falls apart, every time someone doubts you, the world is asking, will you rise anyway? And when you answer yes, when you move forward despite fear, doubt, or fatigue, you discover a version of yourself you did not know existed, a version capable of bending reality to your will. She wants you to know that innovation begins with audacity. The audacity to imagine something the world has never seen, the audacity to challenge convention, the audacity to be the first. She says audacity is not arrogance, it is vision paired with action. And action, even small, repeated, imperfect action, compounds in ways the world cannot predict. Today's tiny step can become tomorrow's revolution if you refuse to stop walking forward. She insists that your story matters. Not only your success, but your journey, every failure, every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of courage, is valuable. She says that your story is your gift to the world, because it shows others that extraordinary is not reserved for the chosen few, it is accessible to those who dare. Persist, and refuse to shrink. Your life, your journey, your choices, they are not just for you, they ripple outward, inspiring and shaping lives you may never meet. She wants you to embrace discomfort, because comfort is the enemy of growth. She says that if your life feels easy all the time, you are probably not pushing far enough. If your dreams seem safe, you are probably thinking too small. Real transformation, real impact, real greatness, all require a willingness to step into the unknown, to endure uncertainty, to embrace risk. And she assures you, the rewards are worth every moment of fear and doubt. She tells you to nurture your imagination as fiercely as your discipline. Vision without execution is nothing, but execution without vision is blind labor. She says to dream with your mind wide open, and act with your feet firmly planted on the path you carve yourself. Let your curiosity be insatiable, your persistence unshakable, and your courage unrelenting. The combination of these forces is unstoppable. She reminds you to pay attention to the little things. Small decisions, subtle habits, quiet moments of reflection, they compound over time into extraordinary outcomes. She says that greatness is rarely born from a single monumental act, it is the accumulation of countless intentional choices. Wake up with purpose, act with intention, rest with gratitude. And repeat. Each repetition is a brick in the foundation of your future. She wants you to understand the value of resilience, the kind that refuses to bend under pressure. She says resilience is not passive endurance, it is active defiance against the forces that seek to keep you small. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, every setback you turn into an opportunity is proof that you are stronger than circumstance. She says that resilience is the bridge between today's struggle and tomorrow's triumph. She wants you to surround yourself with visionaries, believers, and doers. The people you choose to spend your time with are catalysts for your growth. She says to seek those who will push you, challenge you, and inspire you, but also to become that person for others. Leadership, she says, is not about authority, it is about influence, encouragement, and the courage to lift others as you climb. When you rise, rise with others. She insists that you honor your intuition. Deep inside, there is a voice that knows more than your doubt-filled mind allows. That voice is your compass. She says to listen to it, to trust it, and to act upon it even when the path seems unclear. Intuition is forged from your experiences, your passions, and your values. It is the internal GPS for your extraordinary journey. She wants you to embrace failure as a teacher, not an enemy. Failure is feedback, not punishment. She says that every misstep carries lessons invisible at first glance, lessons that shape your strategy, refine your skills, and reveal your true priorities. If you fear failure, you miss opportunity. If you embrace it, you harness power. She wants you to harness it. She says that time is your most precious resource. Treat it with reverence. She reminds you that procrastination is the thief of potential. Every moment you delay action is a moment someone else is shaping the world you could be shaping. She says to act now, to commit fully, and to trust that momentum, once started, will carry you further than you can yet imagine. She wants you to take ownership of your life. No excuses. No blame. No waiting for someone else to fix things. She says that power is not given, it is claimed. And the claiming begins with accepting full responsibility for your choices, your actions, and your vision. You are the architect of your destiny, the author of your story. The force that will move mountains if you refuse to falter. She reminds you to celebrate your progress, even when it is small. Momentum is built on acknowledgement. Every step forward, no matter how tiny, strengthens confidence, clarifies vision, and fuels persistence. She says to cherish these victories, because they are proof that you are moving, growing, and becoming unstoppable. She says to embrace the unknown as a friend, not a foe. Every innovation, every leap, every life-changing decision carries uncertainty. But within that uncertainty lies possibility, the possibility to redefine yourself, your life, and the world around you. She wants you to move forward, not despite uncertainty, but because of it. She wants you to remember that courage compounds over time. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. The more you choose action over fear, the stronger your resolve, the broader your vision, and the deeper your impact. Courage is contagious. She wants you to ignite it within yourself and radiate it outward to others. She wants you to rise today, now, fully aware that your dreams are not optional, they are necessary. The world needs the impact you are capable of. Your potential is immense, your capacity for change is extraordinary, and the life you are meant to live is waiting for you to claim it. She says, do not shrink, do not hide, do not wait. Step forward with relentless determination and unwavering faith in your vision. She says that your journey is both personal and universal. Personal, because it is uniquely yours; universal, because your courage, persistence, and vision can inspire countless others to rise. She wants you to carry that responsibility with pride and humility. You are part of a chain of human possibility stretching beyond your imagination, and your actions are links in that chain. She wants you to understand that you are capable of transformation on a scale you cannot yet measure. Every step you take toward your vision reshapes your character, your influence, and the world around you. She says that extraordinary is not a destination, it is a daily choice. A daily commitment, a daily act of courage. She wants you to make that choice today, tomorrow, and every day thereafter. She wants you to know that the culmination of every effort, every choice, every moment of courage, is not just success, it is transformation. She says the life you are building is bigger than recognition, bigger than applause, bigger than fleeting accomplishments. It is the life that shapes you, challenges you, and stretches you into the person you were always meant to be. And in that transformation, you discover your truest power, the power to shape reality, to inspire others, and to leave a legacy that cannot be erased. She reminds you that the world will always be noisy. Opinions, criticism, doubt, they will come from every direction. She says that the measure of your greatness is not in the absence of noise, but in your ability to remain steadfast, focused, and committed to your vision despite it. Let others talk. Let others doubt. Let others hesitate. Your path is yours alone, and your progress is defined only by the steps you take, not by the opinions of spectators. She wants you to embrace vision with humility and courage. To imagine boldly, act decisively, and lead without arrogance. She says that the world is full of distractions that demand attention but offer nothing in return. Focus on what matters. Invest your energy in creation, growth, and pursuit of impact. And remember, greatness is not measured by how much you accumulate but by how much you contribute, how many lives you touch, how many hearts and minds you inspire to rise. She insists that persistence is more important than perfection. You will never have all the answers. The timing will never be perfect. The conditions will never feel completely right. But she says that moving forward, imperfectly and consistently, is far more powerful than waiting for a perfect moment that will never come. Every imperfect step is progress, every attempt is experience, and every challenge overcome is a victory that builds unstoppable momentum. She wants you to understand that true innovation comes from daring to break boundaries. From refusing to accept the status quo, from questioning assumptions, from imagining solutions where none exist. She says the innovators, the pioneers, the trailblazers, they are not defined by what they avoid, but by what they pursue relentlessly. And that pursuit, she says, is open to anyone who is willing to dedicate themselves fully to the journey. She reminds you to take care of your mind, body, and soul along the way. She says that brilliance cannot thrive in exhaustion, and vision cannot flourish without clarity. Nourish yourself, challenge yourself, and honor yourself as the foundation of everything you create. Your health, your focus, and your energy are your most powerful tools. Guard them fiercely. Invest in them daily, and watch as they amplify every action, every decision, every dream. She wants you to embrace failure not as defeat, but as a catalyst for growth. She says that every stumble, every mistake, every setback carries lessons that refine your strategy, sharpen your skills, and deepen your understanding. Do not fear failure. Welcome it. Learn from it. Let it propel you forward with greater wisdom, greater courage, and greater determination than ever before. She says that joy and fulfillment are found not in external approval, but in the pursuit itself. In the moments of creation, in the small victories, in the quiet pride of knowing that you gave everything you had to something meaningful. She says to celebrate these moments. To feel deeply. To live fully. To recognize that the journey, with all its challenges, is as precious as the destination. She wants you to remember that your life is a gift, and your potential is limitless. Every choice, every action, every moment of courage contributes to a ripple effect far beyond what you can see. She says that your impact is already beginning, even if you do not yet realize it. Every time you persist, every time you refuse to shrink, every time you act with integrity, creativity, and passion, you leave the world a little better than you found it. She says to rise now, with confidence, determination, and unwavering belief. The world is waiting, not for someone else, but for you. She says to embrace your vision fully, to act boldly, to endure bravely, and to pursue relentlessly. The life you dream of is not out of reach, it is within your grasp. Every moment you choose courage over fear, persistence over surrender, action over hesitation, you step closer to it. She wants you to trust that you are capable of more than you imagine. To believe in the strength you have cultivated through every trial, the wisdom you have gained through every challenge, and the fire you carry within that refuses to be extinguished. She says that you are not defined by your past, your limitations, or the opinions of others. You are defined by your courage, your vision, and your willingness to rise. She reminds you that your legacy begins today. Not tomorrow, not when the world is ready, not when fear subsides, but right now. Every act of courage, every moment of persistence, every choice to pursue your vision contributes to the story of your life, and the impact you will leave behind. She says to take ownership of that story with pride, with determination, and with love for the journey. She wants you to hear this with every fiber of your being. The impossible is not a wall. It is a challenge. It is a doorway. Step through it. Face it. Own it. Refuse to let doubt, fear, or hesitation dictate your life. The world is waiting for the extraordinary contribution that only you can give, and it will remain incomplete until you rise to the occasion. She whispers that your moment is now. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Not when everything is perfect. Now. The path is calling, the fire is burning, and your life is ready to transform in ways that will astonish even you. She says to take that step. To act with courage. To pursue with relentless passion. To build, create, inspire, and lead. To live a life so extraordinary that it becomes impossible to ignore, unforgettable to witness, and transformative to the world. She wants you to understand this deeply. You are capable of greatness beyond your imagination. You are destined for impact beyond measure. You are built to rise, to endure, to innovate, to inspire, and to leave a legacy that transcends time. Every challenge you face, every fear you overcome, Every dream you chase relentlessly is proof that you are alive not just to exist, but to change the world, she says. Rise, now, fully, unapologetically, courageously. Embrace your potential. Pursue your vision. Defy the limits. Transform yourself. Inspire others. And step into the extraordinary life that is waiting for you, because the world has been waiting for you too.